Hi everyone and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter and returning after 5 days without internet is Connor.
Hey everyone, it's been a long while.
It's only been 5 days but it feels like an
It,
eternity.
it, it feels like a century.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about BrainDead Season 1 Episode 7. It's called The Power of Euphemism, How Torture Became a Matter of Debate in American Politics. That's actually quite short for this show. That was a fairly condensed title.
It's like one mouth, like one breath of air. You can do all that all in.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. So full spoilers as always on this show, and this basically all revolved around one plot. This was very straightforward in that sense, in that Laurel gets taken by the FBI again, by the dude who was in Ghostbusters and Wayne's World, whose name I can't remember, but I like seeing him because I know his face. And he takes her in, and she's going to get tortured, even though they never call it torture. It's immersion.
Instead, they're very
It's
explicit to say it's not quite torture.
No, no, no. It has to be over this limit to be classified as torture. This is just specific interrogation methods.
Yeah,
So no, that's a good episode. I liked how focused it was, and I liked that there was some serious stakes to everything that was going on. You know, because Laurel was in danger, and everyone, like, obviously Luke was trying to deal with it, and he was even teaming up with Gareth a little bit and trying to like deal with it on a political level. You know, and you also felt really like you were kind of your stomach was turning as he was signing the document when he didn't know it was his sister.
the whole thing just felt tense, like the whole episode.
Yeah. So no, like yeah, good tension, good sort of build. Meanwhile, Gustav and Rochelle, are using his like sound frequency thingamajig.
Had some fun with that.
Yeah, that was probably the most fun of the episode. Actually, it was when they started realizing, um, well, even before they realized what they could do with it, when they were getting stared at, and they were like, "All right, let's move, let's turn slowly," and all that stuff, and realizing they could make their bash their heads against the wall and put their hands up, which, to their credit, I didn't call them using that in the vote until like it cut back to the TV and they all had their hands up. I'm like, wait, what's happening?
As soon as I heard on the TV them saying, "Oh, you can't vote twice,"
Yeah,
that's when it clocked what was going on. Before it showed it, but it's like
yeah,
that's enough to know.
yeah,
But
because
before that, no clue.
and you see them doing it and they're just like giggling, and I like how they're kind of like bonding a lot. Like they had like a couple of little high five moments in this where they had like it wasn't like a regular high five, they did a sort of like back of the hand high five.
I think she put her hand normal, and then he kind of did the back of his hand into it.
Yeah, and then at the end they did the whole the fingers thing. I don't even know what you call that. You know what I mean? Like when you sort of
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. For the audio people, you're just imagining Lord knows what I
Well,
just did.
for the audio people, you watched it, so you know what it was.
Yeah, true, 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 true.
Just yeah.
But no, I thought that was all good. Another moment that really cracked me up was FBI guy whose name I can't remember, the one that Laurel was dating who attacked her. Like
Mm.
before they go in to talk to her, he's like, "Oh, by the way, she'll say I attacked her. Just FYI." Why would you say that? Because she's a liar.
I love how he just puts it out so casually.
That proper cracked me up. Like just the like
It's the way they all just believe him, so they don't question it. It's like,
yeah.
nah, all right.
Yeah. We got some interesting bugs stuff that we learned outside of the whole language thing and them communicating with a sound frequency. We got that this like flying version of a bug comes out of his ear and lays new eggs in
It's
the
it's like the Queen, isn't it?
yeah, it's like the queen. So the queen's inside Tony
Right.
Shalhoub. Yeah, Red. I keep calling him Tony Shalhoub because I
My,
just
my question is though is that the one Queen that's spreading all of them, or did one of the ones inside of his head grow into that, and like they've all got one of them now?
I don't
Like
know.
in charge of their little nest, so to speak, in each person's head.
I have no idea.
No, me either. But it just thought it was an interesting idea. It could be like one of those in charge of every person.
No, quite right. And there was a good sense of relief towards the end of the episode when they got her out and like she was like hugging everyone and everyone was happy. Like you know you felt that relief because she was in such danger throughout the episode. To go back to the guy who catches her again, I'm just going to call him Main's World guy. I kind of liked him. Like I liked his character. he had this really weird sense of this is my job and I'm doing it. But when he dropped her off, like I love when he like realized the vote wasn't happening properly. He just put his thing up. He was like, "Do you want a lift?" Like just
Yeah, because
really
just
casually.
before he's like, well, I want to do this. He seems to be like taking glee in what he's doing.
Yeah, but then you sort of think, is it just because he believes in his job that much that he's
I think, yeah, that's what you get afterwards. But at the time, it's like you're taking a bit too much pleasure in this. And
yeah.
then as soon as it's like, oh, okay, the vote didn't go through, there's a second where it looks like he's going to do it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, but he's actually just taking
Yeah,
the cloth off her face. You know, and just a moment in the car afterwards as well when they're sitting there, and he's like, by the way, I would have called in sick today. Yeah,
yeah.
he's making such casual small talk, and he's like, I'll see you soon. Like,
Like,
yeah,
this is a guy who was literally just about to torture her. Or sorry, almost torture.
yeah. Interrogate her with
Yeah,
specific methods or whatever the phrasing was.
intense interrogation, something like that.
Yeah,
That was something as well. When they were discussing it, they were like, "What can we do? Oh, open-handed slaps, closed fists, as long as it's on the chest."
yeah. Stay away from the abdomen. What's the risk of our lungs or organs failing? And like, it was just this weird like clinical approach to what can we do to hurt her without it being permanent. Permanent,
It was really surreal, like because they were taking it really seriously and going really far with it.
Yeah, and it was also like you would feel that they should bring in a female FBI person to do the torturing, especially the punching parts. It feels really weird to me that a male FBI agent would just like stand in front of her and start punching her in the chest.
Yeah, I don't
Careful
know.
what you say. It sounds like you're about to condone.
No, no, I'm gonna say that feeling the need to have a female is kind of just as bad as them not doing it. Surely, I mean, like if they're gonna do it, they're doing it as a job anyway, not as like any sort of pleasure for the person.
I know,
It's
but
just like,
it's like searching someone. Or you have a female search females. You typically
yeah, not necessarily though.
not necessarily, but you would rather do it because it just.
See, that's the thing. It's like if you go to a doctor's, it's you don't choose. You just have whichever one it is. I mean, unless you have your preference to your specific doctor, it's just
Well,
they're
yeah,
doing their
but
job. It's clinical. There's nothing
I'm just saying,
about.
if I worked for the FBI, right, and I was the person who had to torture people, I feel like I would rather only do male victims, at least in terms of like punching and things like that.
Sure, but then from their point of view, they're going, well, this is a potentially a terrorist suspect. They don't care. They're not thinking of her as a woman. They're going, I need to get the information.
Well, maybe that's the problem is we know she's not a terrorist, so I just can't think
Well,
of it like
yeah,
that.
yeah, we know that, so we're in that mindset. But to them, or
And
most
that
of them anyway,
in that scene, they're complete villains. And to be fair, it's not most of them, not really, because at least one of them's like infected with bugs, and
well,
he's like
yeah.
really shooting for it, and he's like
Well, you
screaming
say at
information.
least one. I think it is just the one because she asks him, doesn't she? She goes, how many have you got? And he's like, nah, that's the funny thing. It's just me. The rest of them are just going along with it.
Ah, true, yeah. But there is that other guy who's like not wanting to do it, and he's like the
There
one
is
who
that guy, yeah,
gives the information to look because he feels that something's off here.
yeah.
Um, so that was a good tense episode, but with a surprising amount of funny moments as well.
This show's done a really good job of balancing that. I think it's kind of
Mm.
found its foot, and it can do the serious tense stuff and be ridiculous at the same time.
I suppose we should mention the cliffhanger at the end is that uh, Gustav's device picks up that Laurel and Luke's father is infected.
Mm. It's another little interesting development.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. I guess we'll just see where that goes next week.
It's going to come into play soon, I'm sure. I mean,
Oh yeah,
how many
obviously,
episodes
but
is this? 13 episodes?
yeah, it's 13, so we're halfway through.
Yeah. Yeah. Feels longer with it having so many breaks.
Yeah, yeah, it's had 2 breaks, which is weird, but yeah, that's this week's episode of BrainDead. Solid, good stuff. The show's really kind of hit its stride in the last couple of episodes. So let us know what you think in the comments below. We always like to hear. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. It helps us out a lot. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We will see you next time.